This video was sponsored by Cubenation. In order to get really high quality products at reasonable prices, go check out Cubenation with the link in the description below. Hey guys, what's up? It's Fariz, and today I have the review of the Yuxin Black Kirin 4x4, a rather new budget 4x4 option for beginners by Yuxin. Released on the 10th of August of this year, retailing for only $6, the Kirin 4x4 is part of Yuxin's budget-oriented lineup known as Black Kirin. It's a 60mm 4x4 which makes it very comfortable to hold in the hands and allows for easy execution for algorithms and basic moves, though the overall design does have some negatives. More on that later. The cube itself weighs 116.2 grams compared to the 123.1 grams of the Wuque and other 4x4s around a similar weight, putting it in the lower end of the spectrum. The cube sports Yuxin's regular color shades, much like the Yuxin Little Magic. The plastic has more grainy texture, and the shades also allow for easy recognition of individual pieces. The cube's interior design isn't anything worth noting, nothing new as you'd expect from a budget cube. The edges have shallow loop tracks, permitting a little better loop distribution, but not contributing too much to the actual performance. The corners are completely blank when it comes to loop tracks. The dual base corner pieces and the edges with wings, which are pretty similar to the Wuque other than the slight extrusions on the side, act as an anchor under the centers, which are also similar to the Wuque with the pegs. This design is the typical one to avoid instability and popping. All this is over a very typical looking core, bringing us to the next topic of performance. Which begs the question, does it pop? Well, no, not as far as I've seen. It's controllable if you can adapt to the lighter turning style to use the cube. It will in fact pop if you put on too much pressure though. The inner pieces are easier to turn than the outer pieces, causing catching, especially in the 3x3 stage where the inner layers should optimally stay somewhat stable and restricted. A little Traxxas 30K fixes the problem temporarily, however it gets annoying to renew lube and clean bigger cubes, so magnetizing the cube would be a valid option in this context. The corner cutting on this cube is moderate but still pretty good for a cube that costs a measly $6. It feels sandy and dry right out of the box with somewhat unpleasant tensions for my preference, but after a little tensioning and applying 30K to the centers and Moyu Loop V1 and V2 in the outer layers, the cube turns very smoothly with a nice amount of actuation force to turn each side. But once again, the loose inner layers sort of ruin the otherwise really good feel of the Kirin. It's a very light cube in the hands and really feels good because of its small size. It's also very quiet during solves, so that might appeal to you classroom cubers. So the cube isn't the quietest thing on earth, but it's still pretty quiet, and in case you were wondering, here is a sound test about 3 inches from the mic. The performance overall was great. However, the inner layers once again caused issues, hindering my solving experience to the point of adding 10 to 15 seconds to my average. Being a $6 cube and having flagship performance isn't easy. It's like telling a broke kid to go to Harvard. However, in this case, the tables have turned. It got a scholarship! Wait, what? It has outmatched its price, with its performance being worthy of competing with mid-range 4x4s rather than entry-level ones like the MF4. So value on this, I give it a thumbs up. So now I'm going to conclude this review. The Yuxin Black Kirin is a really good 4x4 for those of you looking to get into 4x4. You can also magnetize it as you become more skilled and need a more precise cube. A very good option for beginners. The cube itself can be used as an upgrade for those of you who also used dollar store level cubes before and don't want to spend a whole lot. The cube is great with a nice amount of pros and a few cons. Anyways guys, that's it for today's review. No, it's not. There will be a giveaway. Make sure to follow the Gleemayo link at the top of the description to get to the giveaway and follow the instructions. Winners will be announced in the next video, guys. Peace.